Hola Brujitas, welcome back to the channel. Tonight I am going to be making some more water, and I decided to take you guys along and show you how I make my personal water. There's many different recipes, as you guys could probably Google and or YouTube it and see tons and tons of things come up. It's basically very disgusting type of water that can send your enemies into turmoil. You can also use this type of water for like a fiery wall of protection if need be. Specifically for this one, I have something in mind, and it's not going to be for no fiery wall of protection. It's just going to be purposely to cause harm and havoc, chaos, destruction, pain, suffering, turmoil. That's what I'm designing this to do. Ingredients are going to be pretty simple this time around. They're not going to be as extravagant and out there as my hexing oil, my maleficent oil that I have on my channel. Those of you who need something more simple, something with less ingredients, this might be for you. Or if you're just looking for ideas and you already know how to make water, then cool. Or if you have any other ingredients that you'd add to yours that you'd like to throw in the comments below, please comment. I love seeing it. I love reading it. I love having my senses intrigued to try out new things. Well, the reason I am making this is for an extra kick for the curse work that I'm going to be performing the 15th on Friday. And I'm going to be utilizing that energy for a particular somebody that I should have cursed a long time ago. I found out this person is actually remarried to someone who practices Wicca, basically. I have experienced a few different psychic attacks, sadly. And I thought I was done with this person. I was never going to deal with this person ever again. But apparently something must have triggered this person in their life at that point in time. And they sent some psychic attacks, whether they knew how to do it or not. But I found it very coincidental that as I dug deeper to see what this person was doing in their life, that they married a Wiccan. And a Wiccan knows how to do those types of things, or at least if they've been practicing for a while, any sort of spiritual practitioner knows that tapping into the psyche like that, infiltrating someone's dreams or their energy field in some sort of way, it can be done. It's a real thing. I found that too coincidental. And this person showed up in my dreams, hassling me for the same old shit that they would have when we were together. Some of you who've been following me for a while, you probably don't know who this is. And one of you have told me you should have cursed the fuck out of this person. But you would have, and you're right. I held off for a while, but now it's happening. It's gonna fucking happen. Funny as that sounds, that I didn't have any plans to use my maleficent hexing oil as soon as this, but here it is. I had a feeling, and here it is. So trust your intuition. Your intuition always knows. I'm going to record it. I'm going to be going off the edge to an extreme. Some of you might be sensitive to that. So watch if you want to watch. Don't if you can't handle it, because I'm really going to fuck up this person's life. I'm going to move on to the water. And at the end of the video, I will tell you guys some ways that you can use it if you have not made it or you haven't used any water before. I'll give you some tidbits of information there, and I'll also probably place them in the comments or something below. All right, let's go. The items you're going to need are 9 rusted nails, some black magic incense, or you can use patchouli or dragon's blood, stinging nettle. You're gonna need a black candle, some storm water. You can opt out for swamp water or just some nasty water that's laying around. Cayenne pepper, some super hot chili peppers. I have Carolina Reaper peppers here, some of your urine, a red candle, and vinegar. For my red candle, I like to inscribe the fire elemental symbol to correlate it with the Mars god of war energy. For the black candle, you're going to inscribe chaos, havoc, destruction, pain, suffering, anything along those lines that you want to insert into this working. So the first runner-up is urine, your urine, not from an animal's, not from your partner's. This is to assert your dominance. This is what it's used for. Next up is storm water for destruction and chaos. You can also use swamp water. It will do the same thing. Next up is cayenne pepper. And cayenne pepper and the Carolina Reaper peppers, they cause the same sort of thing. They cause irritation, pain, discomfort, havoc, destruction. You can kind of see the pattern here. I'm a very symbolic type of person, so the symbol that I'm drawing is the fire elemental symbol, and I am pushing that into the jar, and I'm imagining this fiery, destructive energy being pushed into this jar. This is optional, it's not something you have to do, it's just something that I like to do in my personal workings. Next up is the stinging nettle, and stinging nettle can create arguments and discord in relationships. It doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship. It can be any relationship between a relative, your friend, etc. Next up is the Spanish moss, which I forgot to show you in the beginning. But Spanish moss I am using specifically for pain, suffering, turmoil. This can also be highly protective. Everything else in this jar is highly protective if you want to use it as such. Just FYI. Next up are the rusted nails, and I'm going to add them in one by one, similar to knot magic. I'm saying here by nail of 1, you better run. And then nail of 2, I'm coming for you. By nail of 3, you will never be free. By nail of 4, you are no more. By nail of 5, dead or alive. By nail of 6, this spell will stick. By nail of 7, your future I leaven. By nail of 8, you feel my hate. By nail of 9, your soul is mine. Then drown everything in vinegar to sour their lives, or whoever you're going to use this on. Obviously, if you don't have everything that I have, you don't need it. There's only a few things that you really need to correlate to put into this vinegar. You need something fiery, something that can cause pain and suffering, but also has a good protective quality. You can literally just use vinegar and nails. A lot of practitioners have. You can use anything pokey or sharp, like thorns, and then put in some chili peppers and inside some vinegar or just some regular water. You can let this sit outside to let it get murkier with the lid off even, but I would not recommend it if you live in an apartment because some of that stuff might go into your apartment. So then, you know, the bugs lay their larvae and stuff in there, and then when you close the lid and take away the air supply, they all die in there. So that really enhances the energy. And now you light the candle, place it on top of the jar, and chant the incantation. Water wicked, water black, you are now under my attack. I say this forever many times that I feel like I need to say it so I can channel all of my anger and everything into this jar, into this war water. And you saw me shaking it, and I was getting some extra aggression in there. That's why I was shaking the jar, to add that much more of that fiery intent. And that's all, folks. Just let the candles burn out and then it's ready to go. That's how I make my war water. It doesn't really take as much time as you think it would because everything that you add into your workings already has its own essence of energy. You're just choosing to take a certain property and you enhance it more than the rest. You're canceling out the rest and then just using the one. So it already has energy within the materials and the herbs, spices, everything. I'm not gonna keep listing shit off, you get it. Everything has its own energy already, pre-existing. The only other thing that you are doing for something like this to give it that extra kick is inserting some of your anger that's already there, already existing. Subconsciously, you suppressed it down and you're removing it, taking it out, putting it into the baneful magic. That's the energy I get rid of when I am doing this type of stuff. Today is a Tuesday, so I'm using Mars energy for this. It is the waxing gibbous moon leading up to the full moon on Friday the 15th in Taurus. Now, if you're trying to utilize it on Saturday, it's going to start going through Gemini at that point in time. So I want to use Taurus energy for this because my ascending sign is Taurus. And I feel like that goes hand in hand with kind of energy I need to use right now. I need to fuck someone up. So they're about to get some horns. And it's multiple people. It's not just one person. So that's why I was saying this curse that I'm going to do is not going to be for the lighthearted. I'm going to fuck a family up all at once in one get-go. Or water, what does it do? What can you use it for? Like I was saying earlier, you can use this type of stuff for a fiery wall of protection, but this war water specifically, I'm going to be using in baneful magic for hexing, cursing, things like that, banishing people. If you want this to become nastier than what it is, I suggest leaving it outside with the lid off so it attracts flies, it attracts bugs, they lay their larvae in it, and then they die in there. And that kind of energy is good for this because this is dark energy. Eventually, this water is literally going to turn black. So as I speak the incantation, I'm saying water that's black. There's a purpose for it because it's going to turn black. Very black. You will not be able to see through the jar eventually. And the worse and stagnant and more disgusting it becomes, obviously, the stronger and stronger it gets. That's the point. You can use this in candles. Literally, you can, if you make a giant jug of this stuff, which would be great, if you have a giant jug and you can store it somewhere, use this in sour jars. You can use this in any type of jar, like hex, curse. If you're trying to put a working into the ground, pour some more water on top of it real quick. Start some shit. You know, literally put this on someone's doorstep. Start a war. There's a bunch of shit you can do with it. It honestly, the list goes on and on. This war water I'm using sparingly. I'm going to be using in my next working, my curse. So you guys will see me use it there. You don't have to make this on a Tuesday, but I chose to because it's in the sign of Mars, and Mars means war, chaos, destruction, and that's the kind of energy that I want in this. So war water, war energy. Or you can do this on a Saturday, which is good for banishing, hexing, cursing, that type of baneful energy as well. Pick the day that best resonates with you. If you guys have any questions, of course, you can place them in the comments below, or you can email me at underneaththeveilofmarigolds@outlook.com. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Until next time, I will see all you lovely little brujitas later.